Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell y'all something. I need every woman in here to lean in just a little bit, because what I'm about to say gonna sound real familiar, but it's gonna hit you different tonight. You ever had a man vanish like Houdini? No call, no text, no DMs, nothing. Poof, gone. But deep in your soul, you know he still wants you. You feel it. You can't explain it. But the energy don't lie. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just go ahead and get right to it. One of the biggest misunderstandings between men and women is this right here, how we process emotions. Y'all think we're just out here cold, disconnected, heartless, that when we go quiet, when we don't call, when we ain't texting you back, it's because we stopped caring. But let me tell you something, real silence don't always mean apathy. Sometimes it means confusion. Sometimes it means shame. Sometimes it means a man is feeling something so strong, so heavy that he don't even know what to say, so he says nothing. See, women are naturally emotional communicators. Y'all feel something, you talk about it. You got a girlfriend for every emotion. You sad, you call somebody. You happy, you group chat. You confused, you FaceTime. Women process by sharing. But men, we process by withdrawing. We need space. And not because we don't care, but because we don't know how to care in a way that shows. A man can love you with everything he got and still go quiet, still back up, still seem like he disappeared. Now, I'm not saying that's right. I'm saying it's real. You got to understand, a lot of men were raised in a world where emotions were a liability, not a strength. We were told, man up, don't cry, be tough. Nobody ever said, hey man, tell her how you feel, be vulnerable, be honest about your pain. No, sir. We were taught to hold it in, push it down, tough it out. So when we get hit with love, real deep, soul-shaking love, we don't always know what to do with it. And when it starts going sideways, when we hurt you or you hurt us or we just don't know what to do next, we retreat. That silence, that's not always the sound of indifference. That's the sound of a man struggling to face what he's feeling. Is fear, is pride. It's not knowing how to come forward without looking weak, without losing control, without getting exposed. And listen, y'all don't understand what that pressure feels like. We're told our whole lives that we got to have the answers, got to be the provider, got to be the strong one. So when we don't have the answer, when we don't know how to fix what's broken between us and you, we just go silence. That silence is where we hide our fear of not being enough. I know it's hard. I know it's frustrating. You sitting there like, if he just told me what was going on, maybe we could fix it. And you right. But in his mind, he thinking, if I open up, I might lose her. If I tell her I don't know how to fix this, she might walk away. So he does nothing, not because he wants to lose you, but because he don't want to lose faith. Ladies, y'all got to understand, for some men, silence is survival. He not ghosting you because he forgot how beautiful you are. He's not ignoring you because he stopped craving your touch or your energy. He's quiet because his emotions are loud. He's quiet because he ain't got the tools to say, baby, I need you, but I don't know how to keep you without hurting you again. And you sitting there reading that silence like rejection, when in reality, he's drowning in it. That's why I tell women, don't always mistake distance for disinterest. Sometimes he in a battle with himself. It ain't you, it's his own storm. A storm he don't know how to invite you into. A storm he ain't sure you'll stay through. And so he suffers in silence, craving you, loving you, wishing he could just pick up the phone and say everything his heart won't let his mouth say. Let me go on and keep it real with y'all. You want to know why that man you love, the one you know loves you back, won't reach out, won't hit your line, won't walk himself back into your life even though it's killing him inside? I can tell you in 2 words, pride and ego. Them 2 things right there, they ruin more relationships than cheating, lying, and bad communication combined. Pride and ego got more power than desire. Man can be head over heels in love with you, desperate to hear your voice, missing everything about you. But if that pride still running the show, he'll sit in that silence like it's a throne. See, here's what you got to understand. A man's pride ain't just some personality flaw. It's built into him. He's been taught from a young age that being a man means being strong, being respected, being in control. So the moment he feels like he's not in control, especially of his emotions, he pulls back. Not because he doesn't feel anything, but because he feels too much. And that scares the hell out of him. Now, desire, that's easy. Desire lives in the moment. Desire says, text her, call her, tell her you miss her, go get her back. That's the voice of his heart talking. But pride steps in like, nah, don't let her see you sweat. Don't look weak. Don't give her the upper hand. And ego sitting in the back going, she probably moved on already. Don't embarrass yourself. And boom, just like that. All that craving, all that love, all that passion gets locked behind a wall made of silence and stubbornness. Let me tell you something else. When a man feels like he's failed you and he knows he messed up, his pride will convince him that staying away is the strong thing to do. He won't apologize, not because he ain't sorry, but because admitting he was wrong feels like defeat. And for some men, defeat is worse than heartbreak. For some men, saying I was wrong feels like handing you all the power. And if that man ain't secure in himself, he'll choose ego over love every time. It ain't right, but it's real. And here's what's crazy. He could be dying inside. He could be sitting in his car, looking at your picture, replaying memories, feeling like he's suffocating without you, but he will not move. That ego got him frozen. That pride got him pretending like he's good. That silence is his last defense. Because to him, breaking that silence is surrender. Now, I know what some of y'all thinking. Well, if he really wanted me, he'd get over that pride. And you're not wrong, but here's the hard truth. Most men don't even know how deep that pride goes. It's not conscious, it's instinct. They don't even recognize they choosing pride. They think they protecting themselves. And by the time they realize what they've lost, sometimes it's too late. He won't tell his boys how much he misses you. He won't post no sad quotes online, but he's hurting. And still, he won't reach out. Not because the feelings ain't real, but because that pride is louder than his desire. And that ego standing between him and that phone like a security guard. Every time he reaches for you, it whispers, don't be the one to fold. Let her come to you. So he waits and waits and waits, hoping maybe, just maybe you'll break first. Even if he's the one that broke it in the first place. And the saddest part, a lot of these men think they winning by staying quiet. But what they really doing is losing everything they ever wanted, all because they were too proud to speak, too proud to feel, and too proud to come home. Now let's talk about fear for a second. Not the kind of fear you see in movies or on Halloween. I'm talking about that real fear. The kind that sits deep in a man's chest when he knows he messed up. The kind that makes his fingers hover over your name in his phone, but he never presses call. The kind of fear that has him stuck, silent, and scared to death of you. Not because you did anything wrong, but because he knows deep down he did. See, y'all think rejection is just a woman's pain, that it's y'all who sit around worried whether he'll choose you, whether he'll come back, whether he'll apologize. But ladies, let me tell you something. When a man knows he hurt a good woman, that fear of rejection becomes real heavy. He ain't just scared you moved on. He's scared you finally realized your worth. He's scared you woke up and saw he wasn't treating you the way you should be treated. And when that fear kicks in, it paralyzes him. This ain't about desire. It ain't about love. He still wants you, still dreams about you, still can't hear your name without feeling something. But when he sits with that phone in his hand, all he can think about is what you might say if you pick up. Or worse, what you might say if you don't. That what if she don't answer runs through his mind like a broken record. Or what if she's with somebody else now? That thought alone will shut him down for the whole day. He replays it all in his head. Every argument, every time he raised his voice, every time he didn't show up when he said he would, every time he made you feel second when you should have been first. And now he's sitting there thinking, how can I fix that? But before he gets to a solution, fear cuts him off. Fear says, you can't fix this. She done with you. You blew it. See, y'all got to understand, rejection to a man, especially from a woman he still loves, don't just sting, it shatters. Because in his mind, your acceptance is tied to his value. When he messed up, he didn't just lose you, he lost part of himself. So coming back to you, that ain't just a phone call, that's an admission. That's him standing there naked emotionally, asking you to either take him back or turn him away. And baby, that is terrifying. Even if you're the most forgiving, most soft-spoken, most understanding woman in the world, if he knows he hurt you, he will assume the worst. That's how guilt works. It don't let him see your heart. It only lets him see his mistake. And when a man feels guilty, he puts that on replay in his mind. So instead of trying to make it right, he backs up and says, she probably hates me. Even if you don't, that fear is like a wall between him and you. He hears your name and he thinks she probably already deleted me from her heart. He don't realize you might still be hoping, still praying, still waiting for him to show up with some courage. But courage can't live in the same room as shame. And when he feels ashamed, he becomes a stranger to himself. He could be out here pretending to live his best life, going out, posting pictures, laughing with friends. But the truth is, every time he sees someone who reminds him of you, every time he hears a song y'all used to vibe to, he gets hit with a wave of, dang, I lost her. And even though his heart is screaming to reach out, fear whispers, don't. So he listens to the fear, not because he doesn't love you, but because he's afraid your answer might confirm his worst nightmare, that he waited too long and now you're gone. Now let me tell y'all something that's going to sound real familiar to some of you ladies. You ever been in a situation where a man messed up? Maybe he said the wrong thing, did the wrong thing. Maybe he hurt you in a way that left you sitting there confused, disappointed, emotional, and instead of stepping up, owning it, and trying to fix it, what does he do? He disappears, just vanishes. Like if he goes quiet long enough, the problem's just gonna solve itself. Like you gonna magically forget the hurt. You left standing there like, wait, what? You messed this up and I'm the one left hanging? And the truth is, yeah, you are. Because that man don't know how to fix it, so he avoids it. That's what men do when they feel lost. See, women, y'all are solution-oriented when it comes to emotions. You feel something, you address it. You want clarity, you ask questions. You want peace, you have the hard conversation. But men, we are the complete opposite. When we mess up and we don't have the answer, we shut down. If we can't fix it fast, we don't fix it at all. That's just how we're wired. And it ain't always because we don't care. Nah, sometimes we care so much it overwhelms us. But caring ain't the same as knowing what to do. A man might be sitting in his room full of regret, heart torn up, knowing he blew it with a woman who actually had his back. But instead of picking up the phone and saying, I'm sorry, let's talk, he'll sit in silence, hoping the storm passes on his own. That's his way of coping, even though it makes you feel abandoned. Why does he do it? Because men hate feeling inadequate. Hate it. A man can deal with failure at work. He can deal with competition from other dudes. But when he fails in love, when he fails you, it shakes his core. He starts questioning himself. How do I come back from this? What do I say? What if she don't want to hear it? What if I say the wrong thing and make it worse? So instead of facing that, he checks out. He ghosts the very situation that needs his presence the most. Ladies, listen, a lot of men were never taught how to handle emotional repair. We know how to fix a flat tire. We know how to fix a leaky sink. But when it comes to fixing something we broke in a woman's heart, man, we got no clue, no playbook. So what do? We avoid it like it never happened. We hope you forget. We hope time heals it. But what we don't realize is that time without effort don't heal a thing. It just builds resentment. And the wild part, while he's avoiding you, he's still thinking about you every single day. While he's silent, he's still watching. He still checks your socials. He still listens to that playlist you made. He still rides by the spots y'all used to go to. He's not over it. He just don't know how to own it. Because fixing it requires more than feelings. It requires maturity, humility, and accountability. And if he ain't got all three, he'll choose distance over discomfort. He don't know how to face the pain he caused, so he runs from it. He thinks avoidance is a form of protection. For him and for you. He tells himself, if I leave her alone, maybe she can move on and be happy. But he don't realize that what you needed most wasn't perfection. It was effort. It was communication. It was him trying, but because he didn't know how to fix it, he did nothing. And sometimes that silence hurts more than the mistake itself. Let me break something down for y'all, because this part right here gets missed all the time. You think just cause he ain't calling, he don't care. You think just cause he's not texting, I miss you at 1 a.m. or pulling up to your job with flowers, that he moved on. But let me tell you what's really going on. He still craves you, still wants you, still dreams about you. But he's watching from a distance, trying to act like he ain't affected, trying to play it cool when inside his soul is burning. See, a man may go quiet, but that don't mean you out his mind. Silence ain't the same as peace. He could be laying in bed every night staring at the ceiling, wondering what you doing, who you talking to. If someone else got your smile now, but instead of reaching out, He just scrolls your Instagram, checks if your story got music in it that sound a little too emotional. He watches the way your captions change. And if he sees a picture of you smiling, you best believe he zoomed in trying to see if there's pain behind that smile, or if you really starting to glow without him. He still craves your energy. He remembers the way you laughed at his dumb jokes, the way you held him down even when he didn't deserve it. He remembers the smell of your perfume, the way your presence made him feel like maybe, just maybe, he could breathe in this crazy world. And even now, he's starving for that feeling again. But he's feeding himself crumbs, old photos, memories, secondhand updates from mutual friends. That man's starving, but he won't pull up to the table. You know why? Because craving and courage don't always show up at the same time. He's craving you, but he ain't got the strength to face you. He tells himself, let me just watch from the sidelines. Let me see if she's happy. Let me see if I still got a chance. And he's hoping hard that maybe one day you'll post something that gives him a sign, something that says, I still care, something that says it's not too late. But until he sees it, he stays back. Now, don't get it twisted. He ain't just watching you. He's also watching the men around you, watching who's liking your pictures, watching who's tagging you in comments, watching if some dude puts a heart emoji under your post. And when he sees it, it stings. Oh yeah, that man feels it deep, but still he won't move, won't act, won't speak, because he's battling himself, battling his pride, battling that voice in his head telling him he already lost you. So he stays on the outside looking in. He creates a fake peace for himself, tells his boys, I'm good. Tells his mama, it's better this way. But in truth, that man is hungry. He misses the comfort of your love, the rhythm of your voice, the safety of your understanding. But instead of admitting that, he settles for the distance. It's safer out there. It don't ask anything from him. It don't hold him accountable. It don't make him face what he did or what he didn't do. He still wants you, still wonders if you think about him the way he thinks about you, still imagines what it would be like to start over. But he's too scared to step forward, so he hides behind screens in silence, hoping somehow the craving will go away. But it don't. It lingers, it grows, it becomes a shadow that follows him everywhere, a constant reminder that love, real love, don't die easy. It just gets quieter. And sometimes it watches from a distance. Let me tell you what's really going on in that man's head. The one who's been ghost quiet, the one you haven't heard from in weeks or maybe even months. You sitting there thinking, if he wanted me, he'd call. But what you don't know is that he's sitting there too, hoping, waiting, praying you'll reach out first. Because if you do it, that means it's safe. That means he can finally care out loud again without looking weak, without risking rejection, without admitting he's been hurting in silence. See, for a lot of men, caring is a battlefield. And pride is their armor. Even when their heart's bleeding, they'd rather wear the armor than admit they've been shot. And that phone in his hand, that's not just a device. That's a test of his ego. He checks it like it's going to ring. Checks your story like it holds the answer. He waits on a message from you because that would mean you still care. And the moment you do, he gets to let down his guard. He gets to slide back into your life like he never left. No apology, no hard conversation, just comfort. He's not cold, he's not over it, he's not busy, he's just scared. And that fear got him convinced that if he moves first, he might not like what comes back. So instead, he builds up this little fantasy in his mind where one day you'll get soft, you'll send that hey text, or you'll accidentally like an old picture, or maybe you'll post something that sounds like a cry for him. He's searching for a sign. He's desperate for a breadcrumb, something, anything to tell him it's okay, you can care now. But here's the truth. He don't want to make the first move because the first move feels like vulnerability, and a lot of men don't know how to live in that space. Vulnerability makes a man feel exposed, makes him feel like he gave you the power, and to a man who already feels guilty or ashamed or unsure, that's dangerous ground. So he don't move. He stays still, hopes you break first, hopes you open the door so he don't have to knock. He wants that opening. He wants that moment where he gets to say, I was just giving you space, or I've been thinking about you too. See, if you reach out, he can save face. He don't have to admit he was scared. He don't have to say he missed you first. He just has to respond. That's where he feels comfortable. In the reaction, not the initiation. It's not that he's emotionless. It's that he's emotionally guarded, and you reaching out gives him permission to care without losing control. And trust me, when that phone buzzes and your name pops up, he gonna read it 10 times before replying. Gonna pace the room, fix his shirt, wipe his palms, because in that moment, he knows you just handed him the green light. Now he gets to slide back in without feeling like he begged, without feeling like he folded, and that's all his ego needed, a way to return without bowing down. But the saddest part is he don't understand what that silence cost you. While he was sitting in pride, you were sitting in confusion. While he was waiting for the green light, you were wondering if he even saw you at all. But to him, your reach out is more than a message. It's a lifeline. It tells him he didn't mess it all the way up. It tells him there's still a chance, and that's why he waits for it. Not because he doesn't care, but because he needs to feel safe before he dares to care again.